everybody, JerzeyFrenchies here. So I actually wanted to share with you guys a video that I filmed prior to Luna giving birth. It was a behind the scenes prep day of the whelping box and the whole whelping room. As you can tell, the babies are already here, and Mama Luna and babies are doing amazing. They're healthy and growing so fast. Look how chunky this little one is. But I thought it would still be helpful and relevant to go ahead and show you guys the video of how I prep, what I keep on hand at all times for best case and worst case scenarios as you're whelping a litter of Frenchie puppies. So stay tuned for behind the scenes on the big prep day. Thanks for watching. Hey Frenchie fam, welcome to JerzeyFrenchies, our little corner where we show you the ups and downs of raising these wonderful pups. Today is a very special day. Luna is about 59 days pregnant, so she will be having her pups later on this week. So we're going to be setting up the whelping box today in preparation for her birth. Frenchies can have very tricky births. Most of the time they need C-sections. So having everything prepared ahead of time is going to save us a lot of headache later on. So like I said before, Luna is 59 days pregnant. Dogs are usually pregnant for about 63 days. And since she is going to need a C-section, we need to monitor her the next couple of days very carefully because she could go into labor anywhere between day 58 and day 63 of her pregnancy. So monitoring the next few days is going to be critical so that we don't get in trouble. The last thing we want is for her to go into labor at home, and then we have to rush her to an emergency vet hospital for an emergency C-section, and that puts her and her puppies at risk because Frenchies have very narrow hips, and the puppies' heads are usually very, very big, and it risks them getting stuck in the birth canal and possibly mom and pups possibly dying. So watching them very careful the next few days is, like I said before, very important. We're going to start off usually about a week before she's due. I will always start temperature checks. We'll do, so each of my pups have their own thermometer. Just going to put a little Aquaphor on it. Aquaphor, Vaseline, anything. Just lube it up so that it kind of goes in easier. Come here, Mama. Hold on, Mama. Come on. I'll start doing temperature checks. Stay. So about a week before, I'll just do it once a day. And then the days leading up to it, I'll start doing it twice a day. We lube it up really well. Make sure that you kind of put it up against a wall. So that way it takes accurate temperature. All right. I don't know if you can see that, but it says she is 99.0. Dog temperatures. Come here, baby. Come here, Mama. Come here, baby. Come here, baby. It's okay. Come here. Normal dog temperature ranges between 100 and 101. In the week or two before leading up to their delivery, their temperature starts to drop. About a week before, it'll start lingering at somewhere between 99 and 100. So right before they give birth, they drop the temperature below 99. So anywhere between the temperature 98.3 or so, she's letting you know that she's ready to give birth. Her temperature just came in right now at 99. Last night she was 99.3, so she's starting to drop. That's telling me that her birth is going to be in the next couple of days, especially because when she goes to the bathroom, when she goes out to pee, I could see that she's already starting to ooze a little bit when she pees. She's getting like a slimy ooze coming out when she pees, leading up to her birth. Like 2 or 3 days before she's ready to give birth, they start, just like women do, they will lose their mucus plug. That's telling me right there, between the temperature and her losing her mucus plug, that she is only a few days away from giving birth. So it's really important for me to get this whelping box up and ready and getting her used to it a couple days before her birth. So that way, when I put her in there with her puppies, she already knows where to go and is comfortable. It's not that I'm putting in her in a secluded room in a box that she doesn't know for the first time. That could stress her out. So getting them used to it a couple of days beforehand and getting comfortable and situated is really important. Okay. As you can see, I already have the whelping box together. I always leave it together from the previous births and I don't take it down. What I did do was disinfect it really well so that nothing from the previous litter can possibly be contagious to the new litter. If you can see on the ground, I have gym mats. I use that to protect my flooring. So on top of the gym mats, I have, okay, so on top of the gym mats, I have these foam mats. Now they came in pieces, and I found them at work and they were going to throw them out. So I decided to repurpose them, tape them all together to the length of the whelping box, and I use this as extra foam padding. Put these down like that. And then I also use, then on top of those foam mats, I also put more egg foam crate. The purpose of the egg foam crate is that you'd never want a flat surface for the puppies to lay on a flat surface. You want it always to be kind of bumpy, so that way it avoids swimmer syndrome or flat chest syndrome. That could be detrimental to your puppies, and they could actually die from it. It doesn't let their lungs expand well, and their fluids and their lungs fill with fluid, and the puppy could die. So having a lumpy surface is really important for pups. So I kind of will just put it underneath the whelping box. Lovely. Kind of just get in and put it completely underneath. So that it fits in correctly. Now it is a little bigger than the whelping box, but I kind of just will put it underneath. Kind of lift it up and just kind of put it underneath, just like that. Make sure that, it lays kind of flat. That way there's no air gaps. Put it underneath this side. Have it fit in on all angles. Just like that. Then on one corner, I will put a heating pad. That way the puppies always stay warm. Puppies cannot regulate their body temperature for the first 3 to 4 weeks. So I would like to use a heating pad Every breeder is different. I like just a heating pad. Some like to use a heating lamp. I personally don't like a heating lamp. Puppies run the risk of getting sunburned with that if it's too close. That way, the one corner is for the puppies. They will seek out that warmth. They will lay there, and if they start to get too hot, they have the rest of the whelping box to kind of get away from the heat. Also, mom doesn't like to be overheated, so if you completely cover the whole whelping box with that heated lamp, mom's not going to be a happy camper. She's not going to want to stay in the whelping box. And you want to keep your mom in the whelping box as much as possible so that she is taking care of her pups. So a happy mom makes my life a lot easier. The puppies will lay on the heated blanket and then, or heating pad, sorry. The pups will lay on the heating pad and mom will have the rest of the box to just kind of lay contently. And that way, like I said, a happy mom makes my life a lot easier. So I will put that on one side. After that, I put a waterproof pad on top of it. Kind of get underneath. That way, the waterproof pad protects the foam pad and the heated blanket, or heating pad. I'm sorry, I keep saying heated blanket, but it's a heating pad. Just kind of tucking it all underneath, so that way it doesn't go anywhere, and then no puppy gets stuck in between the blankets or layers. So I will tuck it and pull it out underneath the other side of the whelping box. I'll do that on all angles. And I always get a whelping box big enough that I could be inside the whelping box with moms and pups. If I need to be for the first couple days, it just makes it a lot easier than getting a really small box that I don't fit into and cramped. Because for the first few nights, I will usually sleep in the same room. That way I'm taking care of mom and pups and making sure that nothing could possibly go wrong. All right. And then, sorry, just kind of straighten it out as much as possible. I don't want any wrinkles in it. Then afterwards, we'll put the pig rails on. All right. These are the pig rails. I'm just gonna, bear with me, I'm just gonna put all four sides together. And then one last side. There we go. And then this is going to go onto all four corners. And you push it down, just like that. And my whelping box is ready to go. Now the point of the pig rails are it protects mom and babies. Just in case mom wants to roll over, a puppy can't get squashed against the wall. So the puppies could go safely underneath the pig rail, and that way if mom rolls over, she can't squish them against that wall. I will also always have triple antibiotic. I get this from the dollar store. Sometimes from having to help stimulate the puppies to go to the bathroom. Sometimes their butt gets a little bit raw, or sometimes when we're having a little bit of poop on it, it gets raw. So I will always wipe it clean, and I will have triple antibiotic just to put on that, just in case anything. I always keep this on hand. I always will have Clavamox on hand. Better, again, this is one of those that it's better to be safe than sorry. This is antibiotic. If a puppy ends up aspirating and going into respiratory distress, it's going to cause a respiratory infection, and they can go downhill really fast. So I always keep Clavamox on hand, just in case I see a puppy that aspirates and is gurgling and struggling to breathe. I have antibiotics on hand. Let's see what else. I always will have a formula, just in case I need to supplement feeding for the puppies. Always important to have. I also always carry Caro syrup on hand. If a puppy isn't doing well, if they're starting to get feeding puppy syndrome, sometimes they're just too weak to be able to feed. You take just a little dab and dab it up on their gums. It gives them enough sugar to have the strength to be able to hopefully suckle on mom and start feeding on their own. Sometimes it's just low sugar with these pups. Here's that electric aspirator that I was telling you about. Now I don't have the attachment on me right now because I'm disinfecting it and getting it ready for the next set of pups I have. But this is an electric aspirator. These are some of the extra attachments. Kind of turn it on, turn it to a lower suction. It'll go into their noses, and you can suction out any of the milk that puppies might have aspirated, and it starts to come back up their nose. Electric aspirator is really important, especially for brachiocephalic breeds. I always keep iodine on hand. For the first couple of days when the puppies come home, I will dab their umbilical cords with it. It helps helps dry up their umbilical cords and keep them infection free, and it helps them fall off easier. So I keep this on hand. I always have 2 spray bottles. One is diluted iodine that I will spray on mom's wound or sometimes on the puppies. I always keep this on hand, and a bottle of diluted chlorhexidine, which is this guy right here. I'll pour it here, and it's a 50-50 solution of water and chlorhexidine. I will always keep this on hand. This has come in very handy. I will also sometimes spray mom's wound with this, her C-section stitches to keep it clean. So this is chlorhexidine. The OR uses this to clean and disinfect the skin on patients before they go into surgery. So I use this with my dogs also. I clean their C-section scars with this to keep it infection free. I also will make a diluted version, like I said, 50-50, 50% solution and 50% water, and I will spray mom's. I let my mom out when my mom's out to the bathroom outside, and I don't want her to bring any of those germs back inside to the puppies. So I keep the spray downstairs. I have one upstairs and I have one downstairs. Spray mom as soon as she comes back from outside from going to the bathroom. I will spray her paws, her underbelly, her boobs, everywhere, anywhere that might have touched anything outside that she could possibly bring something inside to the pups. I will spray her religiously after every time she goes outside to the bathroom with this, and it's helped save me tons of headaches. I've never had any problems with puppies getting any kind of infection from mom from going outside to the bathroom. So I always keep this on hand. I always have a baby bottle just in case I need to feed a puppy. If the tube feeding isn't working, or if they graduated from the tube feeding but they still can't latch onto mom, I will have them use a baby bottle. I always keep that on hand if I need to feed puppies. Or sometimes mom simply can't feed all the puppies she has. Sometimes she doesn't have enough nipples to feed 7, 8 puppies. So I would have to supplement a couple of the puppies. I always keep a bottle on hand. Let's see. What else? I always have dewormer on hand. At 2 weeks, Pyrantel is safe for puppies, so I will start deworming my puppies at 2 weeks with Pyrantel, and then at weeks 4, 6, 8, and however long, every 2 weeks until they go home, they get Safeguard. I don't have that on me right now, that's downstairs, but at 2 weeks Pyrantel, and then 4, 6, 8, they get Safeguard, 3 days of Safeguard. I always have wipes on hand. I will usually help mom stimulate puppies. Puppies can't usually go to the bathroom on their own for at least the first 10 days. So mom usually does a really great job of licking and stimulating them to go pee and poop. But just in case, sometimes she doesn't want to, she gets nauseous from licking up so much poop, or she just doesn't know how to. I always keep wipes on hand, and I will help stimulate the puppies to go to the bathroom before and after each meal. Obviously, gloves to keep everything as clean as possible. I always keep a can of puppy back and puppy support. These two are really great if you start to have a puppy that has fading puppy syndrome. Sometimes if you catch them in time, these things can be great at helping them come back from puppy fading syndrome. Anything you could do to try and keep your puppies alive when they're starting to fade, I keep on hand just in case. I also keep a bag of lactated ringers. This is IV fluids. If pups are starting to get dehydrated, then I will either give them a syringe a little bit at a time, every half hour or so, up to an hour, about 3 cc's depending on the weight of the puppy, every couple hours to try and hydrate them. If that's not working, you could also inject this under the puppy's back, under the muscle, or under the subcutaneous tissue. Sorry. A lot of the times puppies can get dehydrated really fast, so I always keep fluids on hand. The way to tell if a puppy is dehydrated is you pinch the back of the skin. It should recoil really quickly if the puppy is well hydrated. If it stays up for a while and doesn't go down till really slowly, that means your puppy's dehydrated. So you want to take care of that. Now I do these things because I've been doing this for 18 plus years, so I know how to do that. But for your new breeders, I highly suggest you take them to the vet right away as soon as possible so they can get an IV line on the puppy and get them hydrated as fast as possible. Besides that, I always have tons of puppy pads. I will line, especially the first week or two, I will line the whelping box with tons of puppy pads. Mom's going to be bleeding after delivery, so I try to keep the whelping box as clean as possible. So I have tons of puppy pads. Also, then I will also keep. Can you see it? I don't know if you can see. So I always have an oxygen concentrator and an incubator. And actually, I usually have a humidifier over here too to humidify air into the whelping box. I'm cleaning it right now, so I haven't put it back here. But I usually don't have to use the oxygen concentrator or the incubator, but it's one of those situations that also better safe than sorry. If you have a puppy that's fading, it's better to have these things on hand than not have them and you can't save a puppy. Also, same thing, if a puppy aspirated, you might need a couple days of, or a couple, just even a little while of some oxygen. I usually have 2 different methods that I deliver oxygen through, depending on the size of the puppy. I have a little mask. I've adapted it. You add O2 tubing. I've adapted a little child mask. You put the puppy right in here, and you can deliver oxygen that way. In the incubator for a little bit. That way they're getting extra oxygen. That sometimes helps with a puppy that's aspirated. They just need some oxygen. Or if it's a bigger pup, I also have a cup. I made a little hole in the back. Stick the O2 tubing through there. Excuse me. Put the puppy's head inside. Also another way to deliver oxygen while they're in the incubator. If it's more than one pup that you need to give oxygen to, the incubators will have little holes to put things through. You just stick it through the O2 tubing through the hole, bring it down, and that way the whole incubator will be getting oxygen. That way multiple pups can be getting oxygen at the same time. Right? Incubator is one of those things that you usually don't need, but it's better to be safe than sorry. Like I said, puppies can't regulate their body temperature for the first couple weeks. You never want to feed a cold puppy, because a cold puppy, their stomach is going to not work the same way a warmed puppy is going to work. So their stomach is actually going to stop moving, or their intestines are going to stop moving. So the milk that's in the intestines is going to become like cement, and that's going to kill a puppy. So you always want to make sure that your puppy is nice and warm before you feed them. If they are colder than they should be, because either they can't, like I said, mom's not keeping them warm, you don't have a heated blanket, you just brought them home from having a C-section and they haven't warmed up yet, put them in the incubator for a little while, heat them up first before you decide to feed them. And it's going to save you a ton of headaches, believe me. Let's see. That's pretty much it. Last thing I'm going to show you is my travel incubator that I will always bring my pups home in. All right. So remember I told you guys that you should not try and have your French Bulldog have natural birth. Like I said, their birth canals are very narrow, and the heads on French Bulldog puppies are usually very big. So they have a very high risk of getting stuck through that birth canal, and you risk not losing just that puppy, but every puppy that comes after him, and possibly mom. So I don't ever risk my females to possibly ever give natural birth. I will always have them have a C-section. It's just the safest thing for them. So because trying to time that C-section correctly is a big deal, I have my own progesterone machine. I use it for multiple things. For when I'm going to first breed my dog, I use the progesterone machine to see when the correct timing is for her to get bred. I go by her ovulation. The machine will tell me what her progesterone levels are, and then when she's ready to be bred. And then I can also use it for what's called a reverse progesterone. Reverse progesterone is when her numbers are starting to come down, so that way you could time your C-section correctly. I will check it the next couple of days. I'm going to start doing her reverse progesterones, and I'm going to see the moment that her progesterone drops below 2. I know it's go time for her C-section. Really critical to time that correctly because if you pull puppies out too early, even a puppy that is 2 days early is going to pretty much be a premature puppy, and you're going to have a hard time trying to save those puppies. Also, same thing, if you don't time it correctly and your mom goes into natural birth, that's a critical situation. You need to get them to the vet as quick as possible to try and save mom and pups. And that timing is very important too. So the next couple of days, I'm going to start checking her blood work to make sure that we choose the best day and on time before she goes into her natural whelp. That way we time that C-section correctly. And last but not least, this is our travel incubator. Got this from Love My Pups Breeder Supply. Amazing, amazing group of people. They've been breeding French Bulldogs for, I don't know, something like 30, 40 plus years. They made this travel incubator. I love it. I swear by it. I use it for every litter. It's a travel one. It comes with an adapter. Now my car actually has a regular outlet that I could plug this in, but it also comes with, I don't even know, I don't think I have it. It also comes with the cigarette lighter one that you could just plug into your cigarette lighter if you don't have a regular outlet in your car. So I'm just going to get this ready so that I have for when it's go time. I always put just a puppy pad inside. That way the puppies aren't laying on that hard surface. And then it kind of keeps the incubator as clean as possible. I will always throw in colostrum. I always have it in there. My vet that I do C-sections is about an hour away. So I always have colostrum on me so that as soon as I get them from the vet, I give each puppy a little bit of, I don't know if you can see that, of what it is, colostrum. And then it buys them enough time to get home to put them on mom once we get home. So I always will keep that in the incubator along with the power cord. So that way, on the way to the vet, I'm already heating this up. It'll stay heated the whole time. And as soon as they hand me my puppies, I put them right in here, take them home. They're nice and warm and safe for the car ride home. So, just gonna leave that ready. And now we are all set for Luna's delivery in the next couple days. So stay tuned for that. Wish her good luck in the comment section. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And from our Frenchie family to yours, thanks for watching.